I recently posted a video about Furry Potato being arrested in the Commerce, California City Hall. And in that video, I stated I did not believe she had been committing a crime. But the police were not wrong to arrest her. Well, that's a confusing statement. What on earth do I mean? Stick around. I'll tell you all about it. I'll explain it all, starting with a video that Furry Potato made after the arrest. She claimed that the police had spoken to the employees of the City Hall and then placed her under arrest. She was then told she would be searched, which is standard procedure. You don't want anyone keeping dangerous items or contraband on their persons while in a patrol car. However, Furry Potato asked the female to search her, and the female allegedly stated that she would put Furry Potatoes in handcuffs if that was going to happen. And then she did. Stop. Why do I say allegedly? Well, it's because I don't have all the facts. I don't have a video of this. I don't have statements from witnesses or the patrol report from the responding officers. And to remain unbiased, I need as much information as possible before I can start presenting things as fact. Another question you may have is, why would that female want Furry Potato in handcuffs? First, she is larger than the female officer, and the police will rarely put themselves in a position where they do not have an advantage. Sure, the officers outnumber Furry Potato, but that doesn't mean she couldn't do some damage. I'm not saying that's something she would do, but there are plenty of examples of multiple officers getting injured by a single person. Second, it may not be clear what gender Furry Potato is. Now keep in mind, she is transgender, male to female, and it might not be immediately apparent to someone where she's at in that transition. And this does become important later, so I'll get to that. Also keep in mind, there are some men who will request a female to search them because they get sexual gratification out of it, or they might want to attempt to grope the female during the search. It's horrible and should never happen, but if there were no bad people, we probably wouldn't need police. With that in mind, handcuffs make sense. Furry's gender does become a big issue during the search. The officer unzips her jacket about 3/4, under which Furry Potato is not wearing anything. This apparently exposes her breasts. Now, the question is whether or not Furry Potato made it clear that she was transgender. Men generally aren't awarded the same level of privacy regarding their upper torso, and if she made it clear she is a woman, and again, I don't have all the evidence, then that is an issue. If you look up pictures of Furry Potato, you can clearly see that she has breasts, but there are no pictures of her with cleavage, leading me to believe that those are bras designed to give the impression of breasts. Additionally, in her video that she made after her arrest, Furry Potato unzips her jacket slightly to show that she wasn't wearing anything underneath, and it isn't clear if there are defined breasts. Many men have protruding pectoral muscles, and many men have fatty tissue there, which would look very similar to what is seen in the video that she posted after the arrest. It all comes down to whether or not it would be reasonable for the officers to know that she was transgender, based on her statements and based on her appearance. The next issue is that Furry Potato was placed in a patrol car for an hour. Her top remained unzipped, and the windows lacked any tint that would protect her privacy from anyone that was walking by. She stated the officer turned the air conditioner off, and the car got very hot. But did it get dangerously hot, to a point where it would be a serious concern? The highest that the temperature reached in Commerce, California on the day of the arrest was 70 degrees. I had a long conversation in the comment section of my original video, which is still there if you want to see it, with a person named Mrs. Potato. She claimed that the interior of a car in 70-degree weather can reach up to 104 degrees in the sun, and I found an article confirming this, but there are still some questions. First, it's important to remember that 70 degrees is the peak temperature of that day, and it might not have been up to 70 degrees during the arrest. Furry Potato stated that the air conditioner was running before she got in, so we know the interior of the car was likely equal to or less than 70 degrees when she got in. She also stated that the car she was in was parked in front of the main doors, and we can see in the original video of her arrest that the street in front of the doors was shaded by foliage from nearby trees, so the car wouldn't have been in direct sunlight. Based on those facts, I don't think the temperature in the car was a real issue. A lot of people ask me, why didn't the police watch the footage that Furry Potato had before making the arrest? That's because the police had 5 witnesses stating one thing, and 1 person stating another. They had probable cause. They didn't need that footage. While Furry Potato was in that car, the police were getting statements. Then they brought her back to the station, they got her information, they took her fingerprints, and presumably got her side of the story. In my experience, when I used to be a criminal investigator, that is when the investigation begins to find out which story is correct. If their procedures are anything like mine were, that's when they would have watched the footage. However, they might have completely different ways of going about it. Either way, if they didn't get the evidence at the station, Furry Potato will have an opportunity to present it in court. Appropriate legal counsel, not what you're getting from some guy on YouTube, but real legal advice will be very helpful in this situation. I want to make it very clear that I'm not saying that Furry Potato is lying in any way. I'm mostly trying to explain what she might have to establish in the court of law. These are the questions that she should be prepared for in court.
Did you tell the officers you were transgender?
Should they have been aware regardless? What time of day was the arrest?
What was the location of the vehicle you were in? Was the air conditioner on in the car when you got in? Was it in the sun or the shade?
I was a criminal investigator. I own a lot of suits. I sincerely hope this helps. And if you know Furry Potato, please let her know that this will likely come up if she decides to take this to court. And it should be helpful for her. If you have questions, please send them to my Twitter. You can also drop them in the comments section, but I might not see them. Speaking of the comments section, I shouldn't have to say this, but I will. This channel is about issues regarding the law. It is not about the legitimacy of gender transitions. Please keep those thoughts to yourself. That's all I have. I'm looking forward to seeing how this goes for Furry Potato. Although I sometimes bash First Amendment auditors, I respect the ones doing their audits correctly. So, until the next time, be good, stay safe.